When narcissists have no escape, the sad and pathetic behaviors they exhibit. Have you ever come across someone who seems to care only about themselves and will do anything to get what they want? That's what we call a narcissist, and today we're going to explore what makes them tick. Narcissists are characterized by their insatiable need for attention and their inflated sense of self-importance. And let's be real, dealing with a narcissist can be challenging. They lack empathy and integrity and are more than willing to exploit others for their own gain. But did you know that underneath their confident exterior, they're plagued by agonizing emotions of inadequacy and insecurity? It's easy to get caught up in how difficult it is to deal with narcissists. But it's important to remember that they're human beings too. They may have a terrible reputation, but they also have their own struggles and challenges. By understanding what drives their behavior, we can protect ourselves from their harmful influence and maybe even help them work through their issues. So, if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, stick around. We'll unpack the reasons behind their destructive tendencies and explore what we can do to protect ourselves while also showing compassion towards them. Let's dive in. One aspect of narcissists that causes concern is their tendency to withdraw into themselves when they lack support. This creates an emotional disconnection that may leave victims feeling abandoned and confused. Narcissists rely on external validation, affirmation, and adoration to maintain their sense of self-worth. If they don't receive these, they may struggle to handle their own feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. On top of this, narcissists are often prone to displaying aggressive and violent behavior if they don't get what they want. They may become agitated and lashed out at others, refusing to take accountability for their faults and mistakes. This unpredictability can create discomfort and tension for those around them. To defend yourself against the destructive effects of a narcissist, you must first understand their behavioral patterns and techniques. One thing is certain about narcissists: they're experts at manipulating their victims and making them waste a lot of negative energy, which they can then exploit for their own purposes. For narcissists, anger is a powerful motivator. When narcissists are alone, they may not have meaningful ties with others. They're not committed to any particular person or have children from prior relationships. Covert narcissists may put on a facade when around their loved ones because they fear rejection from family and friends. They're anxious about being exposed as a bad person. They may bottle up their emotions, and when they're not released regularly, they can burst out in a fit of anger towards an easy scapegoat. Grandiose narcissists are affected similarly by superficial and meaningful interactions. The overt narcissist isn't constrained by time or audience, but the covert narcissist is putting on an appealing facade to the outside world. Narcissists will do just about anything to get their target to commit to a monogamous relationship, usually marriage. They seek either a compatible companion or an environment in which they can be cruel and unrepentant. It can be difficult to discern the sincere intentions of a covert narcissist who puts on a pleasant demeanor for others. They prefer heroic or tragic roles and shy away from parts in which they're the antagonist or aggressor. Covert narcissists always put on a happy face in public, no matter how miserable they are feeling on the inside. Covert narcissists are at their most vulnerable when they're completely alone because they don't have anyone on whom they can rely in times of need. They're unhappy in different aspects of their lives and vent their frustration towards those around them, particularly their families. When alone or around people who annoy or disrespect them, covert narcissists tend to put on a solemn and reserved expression. If asked how they're doing, they may respond that they're feeling sick or tired. Narcissists may seem calm on the surface or even try to isolate themselves from others, but this is just a facade for their inner misery and desire to harm those around them. The pessimism of covert narcissists partly stems from their inability to reveal their true selves. The intensity of their shadows increases, and those who can sense them become less visible. When their facade starts to crumble, covert narcissists must divert attention away from themselves. They blame external situations for everything that goes wrong and frequently target the individual who has bothered or alarmed them. They then develop strategies to either neutralize the threat or rally the resistance. Being with this person they despise causes them to become mute at the worst possible time. Focusing on the narcissist in your life can make it challenging to attend to your personal responsibilities, such as school or work. Narcissists frequently engage in trust-building activities to manipulate and exploit others once they have their trust. They might even enlist the help of a proxy, such as a close friend or relative. Narcissists are often difficult to read because they rarely display any obvious signs of malice. However, remember that narcissists view all of their relationships as strategic and may attempt to use them against you. Covert narcissists are especially dangerous due to their subtle nature. They are more likely to cause harm in new areas, especially if they know someone they can trust in that area. Even when they pretend to brush off insults, covert narcissists are never truly forgiving, and they always look for ways to exact revenge on those who have insulted them. Their ultimate goal is to win over everyone's hearts. To protect yourself from a narcissist's manipulation, become familiar with the techniques they use, such as love bombing, using excessive displays of affection and flattery to gain control over others, and lying. Narcissists may not approach you directly, but they may still try to tear you down and sever your connections with others. Even if you try to avoid any interactions with narcissists, maintaining a safe distance from them is crucial. Therefore, it is important to learn how to identify and handle a narcissist. To safeguard your mental well-being, you must shield yourself from the manipulation and toxic energy of a narcissist. Remember that many narcissists suffer from deep-seated phobias and low self-esteem. In certain situations, seeking professional help may be the best option for overcoming these challenges and developing healthier coping mechanisms. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed it, please share it and give it a thumbs up. It was a pleasure to spend the day talking with you. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe and enable notifications. Your support has been incredible, and I'm grateful.